Deputy Murphy.
And again, like Deputy Scanlon and Deputy Butler and others, I want to commend Deputy O'Dea for bringing this forward in the House this evening. I think those that know Deputy O'Dea knows that he has this well studied and has his work done on it. And you know, we have all seen over recent times what has been happening to workers, and I'm sure workers who have had contributions made are saying to themselves, you know, why are we the ones to suffer? I mean, already we see, come the age of 65, people who are fortunate enough to have a job all their lives now have to sign on until they get to the pension age of 67. And here, in relation to these schemes, we see that workers again are the victims. Why are the workers? It's totally unacceptable that honourable workers have lost out on pension funds they have paid into. Last government did untold damage to those workers. Closure of the defined benefit pension schemes by large solvent companies must be addressed. We see a number of companies winding down defined benefit schemes to the detriment of their workers. The legislation is trying to ensure that companies live up to their responsibility. Those companies that are in a healthy state, and we accept there may be some companies get into difficulty, but certainly many of the companies that are in a healthy state should not be allowed to avoid their responsibilities. My colleagues here have mentioned Irish news and media. Deputy Butler and indeed Deputy Conlan mentioned Waterford glass workers. And all of these people have suffered. They've made a major contribution to the economy of this country, and they have suffered by what has happened. Profitable companies must be prevented from winding up their DB schemes. And I have to say, Minister, I am disappointed with this document from you this evening, because when you read through it, and I think Deputy Brady said this, you get the impression there's not much you can do. Every page of it, it's very negative. It's very negative in my view towards the worker. I have to say, not the stuff of a would-be Taoiseach, but I hope you don't mind me saying that, but it really is more or less you saying that you can't do anything about it, and yet you contradict yourself. Because on page 2 you say, I believe further steps can and should be taken in relation to the funding standard. Following discussions between my officials, the Pension Authority, the Society of Actuaries and the Irish Association of Pension Funds, the Pension Authority will shortly bring forward proposals to allow some additional flexibility for defined benefit schemes and to tackle some difficulties with the current operation of the standard. I intend to consult employer and union representatives on these proposals before making any charges. That to me is you acknowledging that there are problems there. And yes, we go to the last page and you tell us regretfully that you can't support the bill. Now, it's quite clear from around this House this evening, from every side, that you're going to have to look at this again, because you're going to lose out in a vote of this House on Thursday if you don't. And this matter must be addressed, because it is most unfair to the workers up and down this country. And again, I'd have to say, the companies who can live up to the responsibilities financially should not be allowed to use any backdoor to get out of those responsibilities. So I fully commend Deputy O'Dea here this evening and what he's brought forward. I think it's sensible and it's reasonable, and it's only what we should be doing for workers up and down this country who deserve this. They deserve it, and we should not let them down. Gormagat.